Do you think you're fluent in British English? Well, let's put it to the test, because in this lesson, we're going to look at and learn the different pronunciations of the combination of two groups of letters, the dreaded TH and OUGH, arguably two of the most confusing groups of letters that you could come across in the English language. And if you pronounce all of the words and sounds we're going to talk about in this lesson correctly, well, you might just be fluent, because today's challenge is called the TH and OUGH problem, because these two combinations are responsible for destroying the confidence of English learners worldwide. And if you want to learn even more about this lesson, there is a free PDF that you can download in the description. Please do remember to like and hype this lesson, as it helps other learners to see it as well. But hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to English Right Now. My name is British English teacher Roy because, well, my name's actually Roy, and I'm a British English teacher, and I've been a teacher of English for nearly 16 years. And over that time, I've helped thousands of learners in your position, just like you, learning things like pronunciation in a modern British RP accent, slang, idioms, the expressions that we actually use, and of course, talking about culture as well. But today, we're really focusing on pronunciation, and we're going to crack two combinations of letters that absolutely cause fear and panic in learners everywhere. So let's start off with the letters TH. Now, a lot of you know that there are two different pronunciations of this sound. There is a bonus third pronunciation. It's not very common, but the pronunciations that cause the real problems are the th and th sounds. So let's talk about the voiceless TH first. This sound. This is air only. We do not use the vocal cords to make this sound. Now, it's the same sound we see in a word like thought. Thought, the past of think. So we have think, thought. They both use that voiceless TH sound. So what you need to do to make this sound is take the tip of the tongue, this bit, right here, sometimes known as the blade, and place it on the bottoms of the top teeth, like this. And then we blow air. We don't use our vocal cords, so it's like this. It's a light blow of air. It's not a massive blast of air. We don't go or you're going to cover somebody in saliva. I'll talk about some common problems and issues with this sound and its counterpart, the sound, a little bit later on. So what we do is place the tip of the tongue here and blow air. For some people, their tongue will slightly be further back, but still you're blocking at the same point, like this. So the pronunciation is thought, thought, thought. Common mistakes with this word is putting the top teeth on the bottom lip and making it more like a thought, thought, or placing the tip of the tongue inside the mouth up on the roof and saying taught. So it's not fought, it's not taught, and it's definitely not tot. It is thought. Thought. Your tongue, your tip of your tongue must come forward. Now, I've mentioned this in a video recently, but when I'm recording these sort of lessons on YouTube, I actually record the audio and the visuals, the video, separately. And then when I'm editing it, I put the two together. The sound and the video to match up properly. At the start of the video, I clap so that I can tell exactly the moment, like this. However, I'm human, and sometimes I forget to clap. And then as a kind of fallback, as a backup, I look for when I'm saying the TH sounds to match it up, because it's a visual clue, because I can see the tip of my tongue. But try and practice this voiceless TH sound with me. Repeat after me. Thought. 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 Now say it at the same time as me. Thought. 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 If you don't put your tongue in the right position, it's going to go wrong. If I put my tongue down in my mouth for some reason, thought. Gosh. If I put it up, taught. If I put it back, sort. You see, the sounds aren't right. So you need to put your tongue in the right position. Thought, not taught, thought, but. So remember to make this sound, tip of the tongue on the top teeth, blow air, and don't use your vocal cords. But now let's talk about the voiced TH sound. Now this is your chance to turn your voice back on. This time we need to use the vocal cords. Now your positioning of your mouth is exactly the same. Tip of the tongue, top teeth, like this, but this time we use our vocal cords. We vibrate the vocal cords. And to test you're doing this correctly, I want you to take your finger like this. Sorry, sounded like I was going to say something rude, but take your finger like this, put it here, and you should feel a vibration. V, v, v. In fact, you can probably feel the vibration in your mouth as well, but it should be like this. So the way I often describe it is the th sound, the voiceless TH sound sounds like a leak of air, like a snake. Whereas the voiced TH sounds more like a bee or a fly. It's the same sound we see in the word though. Though. Again, if you put your tongue in the wrong position, you put it back in you put it to the roof of your mouth, do. It's not right. If you put your teeth on your bottom lip for some reason, vo. And if you put it down, it's just going to sound like this, though, which doesn't sound right at all. The key difference between the voiceless and the voiced TH sounds is the fact that your vocal cords vibrate when we're voicing the sound, but your tongue is still in exactly the same position. Repeat after me. Though. 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 Now say it at the same time as me. Though. 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 Perhaps record yourself, listen back, make sure the sound it sounds right. You could even record a video and see if you can see the tip of your tongue on your teeth. And if you can, it's probably right. And I did mention a third pronunciation. Well, sometimes in certain names, like places or people, that TH is simply pronounced as a T sound. The same sound we see in a word like talk. So, for example, in the river, Thames, the country, Thailand, or the name Thomas. You can let me know any other examples, but we have Thames, it is not Thames or Thames or something like this. It is not Thailand, it's Thailand, and it is not Thomas, it is Thomas. Please remember that the river name is Thames. I've heard it pronounced Thames far too many times. And before we move on to the OUGH, let's talk about some of the most common problems that I see with the pronunciation of this sound, where learners actually go wrong. The first thing that they do is they put too much weight, too much power, too much sort of emphasis on this sound. They actually elongate it unnaturally. Instead of making it think, they say think, think. They hold the sound for far too long. And that's because I think it's caused so many problems over the years, or it's one of these kind of bugbears that a lot of students have. They make this sound far longer than it needs to be. So really, it's just a really quick sound when I'm actually speaking naturally. So I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. There's no need to elongate that sound. It's a very quick tap, think. And that's what helps with syncing the audio to the video, because I know it's a very quick sound. The second big mistake is putting far too much pressure and power. They build up and there is a blast of air. So instead of saying think, where the air escapes quite easily, they say think, think, think. And that's when saliva comes out of your mouth and goes all over your listener's face, and they don't thank you for it. Hang on a minute. So one thing to check if you're doing this, if you're building too much pressure in your mouth, is stand in front of a mirror. If you see saliva on your mirror, it's not going quite right. Remember, we want the news, not the weather. And the other big mistake, which is slightly funny, is the one where people put their tongues out way too far. Rather than putting it here and saying think, they go think, think. And maybe I'm exaggerating a bit too much, but you see your tongue going out, think, think. We don't need to see that much of your tongue. I'm not a dentist. I don't really need to look at that. So it's very discreet. It's not think, it's think. And those are the key mistakes that people make, in my opinion, with the TH sounds. And those two letters are two of the most requested letters that I get asked for. But let's now move on to OUGH, because in my opinion, this is the real villain. Now, quite often, vowel sounds in English are the real villains of pronunciation. And this combination here might be the most chaotic letter combination in the English language, because it has multiple pronunciations and there is very little logic behind the pronunciation of these letters. So you're probably wondering, why are there so many pronunciations of these four letters in the English language? Well, one reason, and a pretty major reason, is that during the period that the spelling was being standardized, pronunciation was also changing quite rapidly. And what that meant was basically a word's pronunciation was changing at the same time we were standardizing the spelling. And one of the reasons that the pronunciation was changing so rapidly is it was because of something we call the Great Vowel Shift. And this is basically the pronunciation of certain vowels were changing pretty rapidly. And we're still talking over quite some time, but in terms of language and pronunciation, this was a pretty rapid change. Now, it's possible that the pronunciations did actually mirror the spelling at some point and then just changed and drifted on. We know that pronunciations change, we know that language changes over time, and this is the reason for it. And I know that probably drives you mad, but that is the answer. And I'm sorry that I can't tell you there is a logical pattern hidden in the spelling. Welcome to the English language, but it's why we have words like cough, rough, plough, and of course that really random one, hiccup, which isn't so random. They all use that same combination, and in fact, cough, rough, and plough look like they should actually rhyme. It should be cough, rough, and plough, but it's not. It's cough, rough, and plough. And you may be wondering why hiccup is spelt like this in British English. Well, apparently at some point, somebody thought that hiccups and coughs were related, hence the crazy spelling. But in American English, they do spell it H-I-C-C-U-P, which actually mirrors the pronunciation hiccup. And in fact, I see a lot more people in Britain using that spelling. But this word is technically hiccup. So we have cough, rough, plough, hiccup. I am sorry. But now let's talk about some pronunciations of OUGH. And first up, we have thought. So we have that th or t, thought. It's the same or sound that we see in door, law, saw. It's the past of think, thought. Voiceless th or sound with an unaspirated t on the end, so it's thought. Repeat after me. Thought. 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 Now say it at the same time as me. Thought. 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 Now let's move on to word number 2, and this one is not Thor, which it should be if it mirrored the previous pronunciation. It is though. Though. So this time we have a voiced th. O. So this time the OUGH is pronounced as an O sound. Don't exaggerate it. It's not though. It's though. It's the same sound we see in words like go, no, and also no, which is spelled completely differently. You can never trust the spelling in English. So it has the same spelling pattern as the word that came before, thought, without the T, but this time it's a voiced th, O, though. Repeat after me. Though. 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 Now say it at the same time as me. Though. 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 Word number 3 is the adverb form, but we'll talk about the normal form first. Thorough. This word has 2 syllables, stress on the first. The adverb form has 3 syllables, still stress on the first. This time that OUGH is pronounced it's a schwa. It is an unstressed vowel sound because it's in the unstressed syllable. It's the same sound we see in the second syllable of water, doctor, or teacher, like British English teacher Roy. That's my name, and please do like and hype this video. It does help the lesson to be seen by other learners. But back to this word. So the OUGH is that unstressed sound. Thorough. Thorough. So we have the voiceless th, thorough. If we want the adverb form, we add a l-e. Thoroughly. Oh, and by the way, this word is definitely pronounced thorough, not thorough. That's more similar to the American pronunciation, but this word in British English is thorough, and this one is thoroughly. So repeat after me. Thoroughly. 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 Now say it at the same time as me. Thoroughly. 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 The fourth word on this list is this one. It's completely different. Again, it is through. So this time the OUGH is pronounced ooh. The same sound we see in a word like blue, true, and another pronunciation of blue like this, which is the past of blow. Blow, blue. So this time OUGH becomes that longer ooh sound. Through. And one tip here, I would combine the TH and the sound. So it's not through, it's through. Thr, ooh, through. So repeat after me. Through. 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 Now say it at the same time as me. Through, through, through. So we've had 1 spelling of OUGH and 4 sounds so far. Are you still feeling confident? Well, hopefully you will do by the end of this lesson. By the way, the pronunciation of through is the same as the pronunciation of this word, which is the past of throw. So you have through and through. Word number 5 uses the through pronunciation, but this time we have throughout. 2 syllables, stress on the second, throughout. So it's the same pronunciation of through, and this time we have an out on the end. Out, throughout. Now, I will say between the oo at the end of the first syllable and the ow at the start of the second, we add a little sound, a little W sound to make the transition a little bit easier. So it is throughout, throughout. It is not throughout, throughout. It is throughout, throughout. It's not massive. We don't need to say throughout. We say throughout. So repeat after me. Throughout, throughout, throughout. Now say it at the same time as me. Throughout, throughout, throughout. So let's add a couple of bonus ones. This one, I know it doesn't have the TH at the start, but this one is pronounced tough, tough. So we start off with that aspirated t sound. I'll do a whole lesson about aspiration in the future, but this is tough, tough. On a side note, we commonly use it in British English to mean difficult. That exam was tough. I had a tough day at work. It was like hard or difficult. This time, that OUGH is uff. The same sound we see in a word like bluff or even rough. Hey, we found 2 that rhyme. Tough and rough. So repeat after me. Tough. 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 Now say it at the same time as me. Tough. 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 But now let's throw in a bit of a curveball with the word throw. You might be thinking, hang on a minute, there's no OUGH in this word, and you're absolutely right, but it does have a TH, and this one is a bit of a trap, because this one looks like it should be pronounced like throw, but the pronunciation is throw. It rhymes with though, but for this word, we have the voiceless TH and O. Again, combine them, O, throw. So the ending sound is the same as though, but the spelling is completely different. That's why I've thrown this one in there. I keep saying the word throw now. Just to highlight that the spelling can never be trusted. So throw and though rhyme. And what's the past of throw? Through, which has the same pronunciation as this word. We're going to practice that word throw. Repeat after me. Throw. 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 Now say it at the same time as me. Throw. 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 So let's have a final test. You can let me know in the comments below how many you get right out of 8. Which word am I saying? Thoroughly. Thoroughly. It's this word. Which word am I saying now? Through. Through. Could be this word, or actually it could be this word as well. Tough. Tough. It's this word. Now we have thorough. Thorough. It was this word. Thought. Thought. It was this word. Though. Though. Did you get that one right? Throughout. Throughout. It was this one. Throw. Throw. Did you get it right? If you can get all 8 of those right, confidently, clearly, and without replacing the TH with like a T or a D, or mixing up your OUGH, you are really doing well in British pronunciation. You can let me know how many out of 8 you got right. You can also let me know which one of the words we've talked about today was the most difficult for you, which one you found trickiest. But now let's do a sentence to help you practice some of them as well. On my course, The Ultimate British Pronunciation Guide, where I teach a modern British RP accent and how to pronounce things in British English, I have a sentence to help people practice the voiceless TH sound, and that is, it was thoroughly thought through. It was thoroughly thought through. So what I want to do right now is get you to practice this sentence. It was thoroughly thought through. So repeat after me. It was thoroughly thought through. It was thoroughly thought through. It was thoroughly thought through. Now say it at the same time as me. It was thoroughly thought through. It was thoroughly thought through. It was thoroughly thought through. It's a bit of a tongue twister, I'm not going to lie, but keep practicing that as much as you can. And if you do want to go deeper, a deeper pronunciation breakdown, including mouth position, airflow, and connected speech in a modern British RP accent. That's exactly what I teach on my course, The Ultimate British Pronunciation Guide. But for now, if you nailed the words in this video, you are doing thoroughly well. See what I did there? And before I love and leave you in this video, what I want to say are these two place names. These ones get requested all the time. It's a bit of a bonus for you. This is Loughborough. Some people will add an extra sound in there and make it 3 syllables, Loughborough. But a lot of people just say Loughborough. So the first part, luff, rhymes with rough or tough, luff. And the second part of this word is pronounced b-r-br. So it's the schwa again, and the pronunciation of that second part rhymes with thorough. So you have Loughborough, 2 sets of OUGH and 2 different pronunciations. And this one is in fact slough. Slough. Sl, ow. And if you want to learn more about the pronunciation of place names, I've made a whole YouTube lesson talking about the different pronunciations of suffixes in place names, and you can find that link down in the description of this lesson. Please do remember to like and hype this lesson, but from me today, I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.